Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a very special day today in GTA as we have the new Obey 10F based on the Audi R8. And before this, we've had an OG car in the game, the 9F, which has always been one of my favorites. It is old school, an all-time fan favorite. So really excited to check this new 10F, the new update of the Audi R8 out today. And before we take it to the mod shop, check out the customization options. We're going to take a quick spin around the car, noticing that massive front grille, really aggressive front end with the Obey badging between the headlights on the hood. The headlights, you can see the little LED lights, just as they are on the real world counterpart. Really cool. And we've got some really nice styling on the side here, and that signature black panel right behind the doors, same as on the real world car. And I think my favorite part is the rear end, which is very substantial. It's very wide, very beefy, and looks very, very aggressive. And we've got that really nice mesh behind the license plate, behind the rear tail lights, the dual exhaust, and of course that massive V10 engine in the back. All right, let's take this over to the mod shop and check out what we can do. Really nice wheels too from the factory.
Here for the magic touch.
All right, I am hoping for some luxurious and some smooth and clean upgrade options for this new R8. With the race brakes starting off the build.
You're good for snow, if you're into that.
And for front bumpers, see what we can do. We've got the carbon splitter, which is always a simple, clean option. The forged splitter, I think that's a new texture they kind of added with the HSW workshop, the House Special Workshop. So that's on here as well. Okay, secondary carbon wing splitter, forged, looking similar. Then we've got the stability rods on the front, more of a race or track build for that with the different textures. And I'll probably go with one of the ones at the beginning. I do like these little fins on the end on the carbon super splitter. That's not a bad option. But for this build, I think I'm going to go with something simple, either the carbon splitter or the carbon winged splitter, which has those little tiny fins. So yeah, we'll try that. We'll go with that for now. All right, moving back to the rear of the car, can do a diffuser delete. Wow, can see the rear differential. That's kind of cool, actually. Whoa, an entire bumper delete if you want to do a full track build. This reminds me of the cars where they put the twin turbos right in the back, if you've seen that. That's actually really cool. Then we've got the mid fins. That's something that I could see myself driving around. Carbon diffuser, add some pieces on the side. Extra large carbon diffuser fins. Wow. Have not seen rear bumper options quite like this before, so very unique. That is good. Some more stability rods on the bolted diffuser in a few different textures. Carbon focus diffuser. It's got a nice arch there in the center. Carbon race diffuser. GT spec. Gets rid of the bottom, adds the side pieces. And carbon focus GT spec. So far, coming out of the gates, pretty cool options. This would be cool for more of a all-out race build. And the one that came to my attention was the carbon mid fins. I'll put that on for the rear end of the car.
If that car was a woman, I'd guess her.
All right, engine level 4, V10 engine right in the back here. Listen to that V10 purr, really nice. Exhaust options. Let's see, get rid of the smoke. Okay, so far pretty standard. Black it out with carbon. It's kind of cool. Chrome street exhausts, titanium again. Wonder if they're gonna relocate the exhaust anywhere. Nope, they're all in the same position, so I will go with the chrome, which I saw somewhere. Aluminum, that should work. We'll throw that on. Alright, for the grill, that grill is really clean, so when we do the first option, it gets rid of those splitters on the side piece. And add some canards on the side. Primary vents changes the color. Compared to stock, they're carbon, and with primary, they're the color of the paint, which I do kind of like. Can do that with the canards as well, in carbon or that forged texture. Changing it up to the vertical design, not as big of a fan. It doesn't look as aerodynamic. Can do that in the different textures with the canards as well. And look at this, the carbon canard fin goes all the way through to the front side fender. A little bit more aggressive, a little bit more modern. But for me, I think I'm going to go with the primary vents, because we will repaint this car. So that'll give it some more paint on the front. Alright, for the hood, we should have some carbon fiber options. Ridge line is pretty cool. Add some more angles to the front hood. Ooh, man, that looks mean in carbon. Very tempting to maybe do a second build of this car. Maybe a clean, simple version and then more of a raced out version. And this is one of my favorite cars, both in the game since the 9F, as well as in the real world, the Audi R8. So, very tempting. Might have to do 2 builds. Race hood. It's got the vent. That's tempting as well. But I think for this first build, we're going to keep it clean and a little bit more simple. I do have something in mind similar to my 9F, which I've always loved the look of. So we're going to go with the Ridgeline hood. Alright, for headlights, we'll throw some xenons on. Ooh, livery. Alright. This is where things could get interesting. We've got the white stripes and the black stripes. Goes good with the black panel right behind the door with the black stripes. The tricolor, the German flag colors. Alright, white pinstripe, which we can't see on this white paint. Then the red pinstripe. That's pretty flashy. Not too bad. Kasama. Wow, that's like a initial D JDM livery. Was not expecting that. Domestic, Japanese, European. Pretty cool. Sponsor Bash. I'm assuming that the stickers are in white, which we can't see on here. Jackal Racing. That is a really clean two-tone livery style. Could really make some cool builds with that for sure. German Specialist. Splits it down in the front with the German flag colors again. I do like that a lot. Kind of like a Gumball 300 rally design. And last up is the half camo. Not bad either. And for now, I'm going to leave the livery off. Going to go for more of a street build on this one. Something that I would own as a daily driver. Might do a second build in the future. For now, we'll keep it as is. Moving on to the mirrors, we have the stock mirrors, which are in black on that white paint jobs so they're the secondary color. Can do the primary mirrors to go white on white, carbon mirrors, or forged carbon. And I think we're going to do primary mirrors to match the paint that we'll be painting this car to, different color. Alright, for the plate, we'll do yellow on black, and we'll do highlight for this luxury Audi. Okay, respray. I have something in mind. I will be back in a second. We are going to throw on a rolled steel for the primary color. And for the pearlescent, we're going to throw on a ice white to make that pop a little bit more shine. Really, really clean. And we'll do some black accents on the wheels, maybe the spoiler as well. Looks really good with all that black mesh in the rear. Loving it so far. Okay, secondary color. See what that changes. Ah, the brake calipers. Cool, so let's throw on a Torino red for now. Pretty standard, which would you'd see coming from the factory. I like it. See the trim color, if that changes the seats. Seats and the dash. Okay, so we'll do some kind of a brown. Straw brown, maybe a saddle brown, a little bit darker. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Looking really good. Okay, moving on to the roof. Got some roof fins. And see if they have the option for the 3. Now it's just the bigger one or the smaller one. So I'll go carbon fin or carbon race fin. And I'll go with the smaller carbon fin. Alright, then the second option under roofs for roof itself. Can do a full carbon roof. Man, you could really do a lot of builds. Two-tone builds on this. The inset roof has some angles going from the sides to the center. The ridgeline roof. That's pretty close. Oh, you know what? Those lines go with the lines on the hood, so I'm gonna have to pick that one. Yep, that matches up perfectly. The ridgeline roof. Okay. Side panels. I'm assuming that's right behind the door, which I've mentioned. Yep, can do primary, secondary, carbon. So if it's not carbon, I guess the stock is a matte black. I'll upgrade those to carbon, or we can do forged. Carbon it is. I loves my carbon fiber. Alright, moving on to the side skirts. Can do some carbon skirts. Okay, that's got a red racing line. It's not a bad option. That would match the secondary color I picked for the brake calipers, which is not bad, actually. I will think about that. Got the winged skirt with the rear fins in carbon as well. Then the forged, that new texture, which is pretty clean also. That's got the rear fin and the front fin on that. And to go with the red stripe or not. Yeah, why not? We'll throw on the secondary carbon winged skirt. Do that for something new on this car. Alright, spoiler. So this stock spoiler is an active spoiler, by the way, which comes out, it retracts, and goes in and out while you're driving, which is one of my favorite spoilers in the game. It's on the T20 as well, a few other supercars. And by upgrading the spoiler, it will get rid of that. And I don't think it's going to add traction because the traction bar is full already. Nothing is going up. But there are some clean options, some ducktail spoilers on here as well. Here's some street spoilers, more of a racing style if you want to make more of a track car. But if it's not going to increase the traction, I will probably leave it as is, even though it is tempting to put a black spoiler on here for more of the silver on black theme. Look at that, carbon race spoiler. Those side panels go right into the top of the rear fenders. That is pretty slick. That is something to think about. Then the big wangs as well. Carbon race spoiler is a really tempting option, but I really love the pop-out spoilers. And look how sleek that is. Look how streamlined from the front. Those lines in the hood to the lines on the roof to that clean, smooth rear end. So yeah, we'll keep it like that. Suspension, we will slam this. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Almost no wheel gap. Much better.
Careful of potholes.
Transmission, yes please. As well as the turbo for the turbo tuning.
Now you've got some juice.
And we've got the wheels and the windows. The windows, I will throw on the light smoke as always. Keep in mind, usually if you go limo tint, it's harder to see the rear engine, but looks like you can see it better than most. I will still go with the light smoke on the windows. And for the wheels, let me take a look and I will be back with my selection. Looking through the wheels here, one thing I noticed is the brake calipers glitch through quite a few of these wheels. If the wheels are tucked in, if they're not out far enough, you can see that the brake calipers come right through, so definitely keep that in mind. For my selection, we're going to go to the track category, and we are going to do the Super Luxe wheels. Some luxury high-end rims for this high-end luxury supercar, the Audi R8. Throw those on.
Now that's a custom job.
Go ahead and paint those black or carbon black. Throw those on. And for the tires, tire design, if you wanted to throw something on for more of a racing build, would definitely look cool with some of those liveries. For this simple street build, we're going to keep it clean. Throw some black tire smoke on. And that is it. That is everything. 25 options, about average for choices on the upgrades. But man, this is so clean. I am loving the lines, the aggressive front end as well as the rear end. And I've got to say that red trim on the side panel on the bottom is starting to grow on me. So let's get this outside and take it for a spin. The new Obey 10F is a sports car in the sports car category, as it should be, just like the original 9F as well. And let's do a drivetrain test, see if this is all-wheel drive. No way. Rear-wheel drive, huh? Pretty sure the 9F is all-wheel. Wonder if this will be a decent drift car. Can definitely do some donuts. And it is looking absolutely great as well. Before we take it out, let's open everything up. Oh, nice. We've got a little storage compartment in the front. That's a nice detail. There's some red caps there for the top of the struts above the front wheels. Got the front door panels with that saddle gray we put on. And look at that glass piece for the engine cover. That is luxurious. Really love that strut bar too, the cross design on that strut over the engine. Sweet. I am digging this car. I would say looks wise 10 out of 10. Always loved the 9F, but this just looks like the real deal. That rear end. Let's see if we see the spoiler going up. Yep. As we brake and accelerate, that spoiler, the dynamic spoiler. And it feels a bit snappy for drifting. Yeah, it's not going out as it should, so probably not going to be the best drift car, but I will do some more testing later. For now, though, let's drive this thing, see how it feels as this maniac cuts me off in the Escalade. Okay, let's get a feel for this, get dialed in. A little bit loose on the rear end as we hit that corner. Acceleration feels good. Let's get a feel for the top speed. A little bit wide on that corner. Shifting points feel good. Oh yeah, back on track. Handling feels above average. I don't think it's going to be the fastest car in the sports category, but it does feel really good. get a top speed pull. And again, probably not the fastest, but it does feel above average. A little bit loose on the rear end around the corners, which I personally like. The original 9F was really frustrating and really difficult to drive with that snap oversteer. This is definitely way, way better than that. And I do like a little bit of unruliness. It does make it fun going around the corners as you can control it. It's not as crazy again as the 9F was. So it does add for some fun and wildness. So, for the question of should you buy this car, the new 10F, in my opinion, I would say yes. Would I say it's a must-own vehicle? I would also say yes for two main reasons. The first is it's the older brother of the OG 9F, which was an original sports car in the game based off the R8, which is a fan favorite. One of the coolest cars from the launch of the game. This is the upgraded older brother, the 10F. So for nostalgic and pedigree reasons, definitely this is a must-own vehicle. And the second is for that dynamic spoiler, which is on cars much more expensive in the $2.5, $3 million range, mostly on supercars. And for a price tag of 1.6, 1.7 million, you're looking at about 2 million fully upgraded. It's not that bad. I would say for the price, you're getting a car that looks 10 out of 10 looks-wise, sounds amazing, is based on one of the most awesome cars in the real world, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Love how the rear end swings out. It's on the wild side. For racing, you might want to use something a little bit more stable, maybe with all-wheel drive or less oversteer on the rear-wheel drive. But for driving around the open world, you are going to have a ton of fun. That is going to do it for this video. As always, thanks for tuning in and coming along for the drive. I will see you guys soon in the next video. Until then, you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Keep on playing GTA, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, and bye for now.